Namaste to all the fellow woodworkers in India and worldwide. Thank you so much for joining us on our pilot episode of Stories of Woodworkers from India. And I am delighted to have the very famous Bram Rose from Bram Woodworking Studios. Bram, thank you so much for agreeing to do this on such a short notice.
My pleasure. The pleasure is mine. Yeah.
Great. So, Bram, we'll start with a little bit about your journey in India in woodworking. How has it been for you?
So I came in India in 2011 first in Kolkata. I worked in Terra Indica. So my mission there was workshop manager and teaching also street kids. So Terra Indica as a company and a trust in the same time. So they're empowering kids through apprenticeship. So I had apprentices in the workshop. The same came out from the orphanage. So the orphanage is Ashalayam, and Terra Indica was employing kids from Ashalayam, and Terra Indica was a company by itself. So it was a very nice ecosystem, and that's where I got the hang of India, the woodworking in India, and then after Kolkata, I started after Kolkata my first internship. I came back to finish my studies in France, and I came immediately back after my studies to continue my mission, and I wanted to open my company. And the city that I was first choosing was Bangalore. From Bangalore, I met a lot of maker spaces and a lot of makers, and Mysore. And I thought Mysore would be a nice place to be focused on the work mainly. Yeah.
So how was BWS conceived, and at what point was it started?
So in 2015, I started to have the idea to build my own. I was at the end of my study, and I started working in as a professional, like in Terra Indica, as I mentioned before. And I thought maybe there is a possibility to build something also with the work that I want to do, because I've been working for 15 years right now. So at that time, almost 12 years. And I wanted to do my own studio to be able to do my own creations and do the work the way I wanted to do. Yeah. BWS started in 2017. It's been 3 years now, and we have been with all this background of Kolkata. So now we have people from Kolkata here working in Mysore, and the rest of the team is from the carpenters are from Mysore and Mysore district or Karnataka. And we have designers from all over India that comes for internship, or designers that are here employed that comes from also other places.
So BWS was basically it was conceived as a woodworking collective, or was it design come woodworking come many other disciplines put together?
Yeah, so design was very important for me to put. So our motto is we design, we manufacture, we create. So the design part was very essential to put in, to tell our customer that we are not only making but also designing, but also telling the designer that we are also able to make and not only design. Yeah. So wood in the center.
Wood in the center. Perfect. That is great. Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about the process. How do you approach design, or how do you approach the entire woodworking process? Has it changed over time, over all these years that you have been from Kolkata to Mysore, 3 years in Mysore?
Yeah. So basically, I said, like, we are woodworkers. We are more as wood engineers. and designers, we are more as problem solvers. So in between we place ourselves, where we understand, we reply to, like, sometimes designers ask us to manufacture, so we bring in all the engineering to make the design possible. When we have the chance, for we design by ourselves, that is, but we like to do both because it opens new doors also to realize, to make the designs of others. So basically, constraints are giving us the direction to design, and then after that we just apply wood theory, and yeah.
So I want to take this same question about the constraints into the next level. So let's talk about two simple factors about design and for the industry of design and furniture that we're talking about. One is where we're talking about a little more standardized products, where an institution, they make standard products, say 10 or 20 products in a year, and that's what they're selling. Versus another institution which is creating customized designs for specific requirements or specific customers. So where do you see yourself in the middle of this? And second question to that would be, how do you see these two in a balance span? Standard versus custom.
So we started a company with our first collection. We didn't have a particular customer, so we had to build our own constraint, as I mentioned, and also with the aim of making this as our standard product. So in the same time, so make more of those, because we would then have a more control on the making of this product.
Right.
In the same time, we are a custom design workshop, so we can offer always tailor-made for the customers, whatever they require. So I think over time we would like to have both. For now, it seems when we start a company as a startup, it's almost customization. And with all the pieces that we have built that are ours and that are in our catalog, we hope to make that popular and make those pieces improve. And so we would always be in between. I have been a carpenter for 15 years, and I've been only doing customization. And it's also bring a little bit of it's a challenging way of working, because each thing that you do is new. And I see also the need of sometimes, in like what I experience as an employee, sometimes is like, thankfully I have these days a easy piece. So
okay,
so
I get it.
sometimes it's also nice to just, like, because when you re-perform something that you have done once, then you can also see your progress, and that is also very important. Yeah, and you limit it,
Very
you limit wastage, you limit time. So basically you can really see where you stand as a carpenter, and now bigger as a company.
Yeah, I think that's a very important point that you made, where you stand as a carpenter, and then so it's a single part of the whole. I think that's something which is very important to understand when you're running at such a big scale. Great, I think that's great. Some of the quick questions I want to ask you. These are the easier questions. The difficult questions are going to come later. The easier questions will be that which is the most preferred wood which you're using. So these days, if you're using, so we have like our phases. I used to have a phase where I used to use a lot of teak. I used to use a lot of beech. So is there anything like that? Do you prefer a certain kind of wood to do your work, or is it depending on the design? Secondly, what kind of finishes are you using at BDS? Are you a person of joinery? Are you a person of you are allowed to use the screws, you're not allowed to use the nails, and all of those things? Just these very simple questions, which can understand what is your mindset towards the woodworking.
So when we started the company, I selected 3 species: ash, beech, and oak. So those pieces, first I wanted to have certified wood. That was my main motto. then I choose those three. After that, on the way, customers always asking for a dark wood because those wood are light and contemporary. The colors, yeah, in interior we don't see that much in India. It's coming, but we don't see that much. So we selected three species, then oil as a finish. So then, as a company, I could have my classical machines, three species, and oil. That would have been a very simple start. Now, obviously, customers are asking for different finish. Customers are asking for different wood. So we have experienced different wood, and I think now we have done another journey of, would say, 2 years, where we would have follow what the customers say, and I think now we are reaching at our standards, the company standards, which would we prefer, which would we would like, what we can propose. So even when I opened this company, I spent only 8 days in Karnataka, like in Mysore, sorry, in Karnataka I used to, but only 8 days before the opening of the, so I didn't know about the local species, the local reclaimed teak and things like this. So I knew that I got my wood from Gandhidham. I got a truck and I could immediately work. I know the glue, I know the oil finish, I have my sander machine, so I can provide the work the way I want, the minimum.
Sure, sure.
So then we got approached by Canadian Wood for promoting their wood, five different species.
I was remembering the product that you had presented at India Wood for the petal which you had made. I
Exactly.
think that is a combination of a lot of these woods put together, wasn't it?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah.
Great.
So we made the first design with petal. So that is it's a big launcher. That was to showcase Western hemlock. And then they gave us some other wood to try, and then we redid one more. We redo one more petal, but with all the wood that we had, and that came up very nicely. So now we have possibilities of softwood, hardwood, and reclaimed teak. So now we kind of understand what is the best for what. So I would recommend, and I think every woodworker would like go that way also, is to do the interior of their furnitures with softwood, or if it's for sliding drawers, with hardwoods, but which are cheaper than teak and others. So that's where we are at today. So and now the still we are keeping oil finish, and I think people are really liking this. And so there is a little bit of maintenance of the furniture, but we provide also like the oil, and they can also do. There is one oil which they provide a kit of reveal the oil also. So it's a spray, and then you just apply. Yeah. So
oh, nice.
it's a rubium monocoat. So for all the woodworkers.
Oh yeah, of course, of
Yeah.
course.
Yes.
Yeah.
So go for it, try, and I think it's a very nice product. But one thing I would like to say, like when you work with oil, be very careful with where you storing your cloth with what you apply, because it can catch fire.
It can catch fire. Okay.
Yes, so that's like I need to tell. It's, it's very important.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay.
And you
Bram,
mentioned screws and joineries.
yes.
Yeah. So I'm not against screws, but I
Good.
prefer joinery. Yeah. I would prefer to first go to joinery. After that, in a wholesome project, if we have 2-3 pieces that has to go, we would definitely use screws. And we are now working with a very nice a studio called Ishinamoki in Japan, for whom we will make their furnitures with Studio Chisel in Hyderabad. So it's all about DIY and screws, but the designs are amazing, and I feel sometimes the screw is just good. It's a
Sure.
mechanical joint. It's a mechanical joint.
Sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think it's a good way to put it. Screw is a mechanical joint. So good. I appreciate that
Yeah.
answer. Good.